This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. This week on a new TV Tuners, Henry Winkler stops by to teach Kyorain how to be cool.
Wait, I have to do what?
Hey! And tragedy strikes. A funeral for a friend.
I'm glad he's dead.
All that more on a new TV Tuners. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and weird guy, science guy who made his own AI.
Itame Masta Stairmaster Des.
Oh, uh-oh.
That's Japanese for nice to meet you. I'm Stairmaster.
Jeez, so someone sound the weeb alarm. And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and geeky college girl. I guess quirky college girl, Kyorain.
Yeah, I am just not at all impressed with this AI that's doing remarkable things in front of me.
It's literally transforming itself and just showing you all of the relevant details that you need for things.
She has
I'm just like, what?
No patience for any bullshit, even world-altering bullshit.
I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand this.
I don't understand it, and therefore I'm uninterested in it. Yes, welcome to TV Tuners for another week where we talk about the latest and greatest in television and nothing else.
But first, we gotta talk about something else.
Oh, we do? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, looking at my notes, we do, actually. There's a lot of places you can find us on the internet, but if you're listening, you can also go ahead and subscribe on any of the podcast apps of your choice. They're all available. They're available on there. You just search in the little search bar. You go TV Tuners. We're sitting there waiting for you.
We have an email. You can reach it.
What?
An electronic mail.
That's insane. Who would do that?
People with keyboards.
Oh, I don't have one of those. I went completely wireless a couple days ago.
Well, if you use Microsoft Ease of Access software, you can voice to text, I believe.
No, there's no wires on my computer. It doesn't work.
Oh.
Turn on.
Wait, aren't we recording this podcast on your computer, Keo?
You just got a screen?
Yeah, I've got a screen here.
What do you see on it?
And a microphone.
What are you recording it on?
I think it's like a cassette.
Oh, God.
That probably explains why your audio's so good, usually.
Yeah, high fidelity.
Interesting. Much to think about.
But yes.
Yeah, I'm a real pro here.
If you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at our email address, and they'll be read aloud here on the pod. That email is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kyorain?
I don't know really what an email is, but you said it was tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com, so I'm going to take your word for it that will work, okay? Okay?
TV!
Yeah, you do you. We also have a Twitter page, isn't that true?
Yes.
You can go look at us.
Do.
You can go talk at us. It's at TV Tuners on Twitter. That's the thing you're into.
That is all.
True.
Yeah. There's also, other things, but it's not really important, I guess.
And now onto the show. Or back to it.
Okay, you don't have to do that.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
Sarah's a really helpful little lad
Yes.
here. Let's give him head pats.
because we watched an anime this week.
And they do a lot of head pats there?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know. Do you see head pats in West? How many head pats are there in Seinfeld?
One.
Yeah, I think
I guess there are a lot of
grand total of one.
I think there's a lot in Benny Hill, I guess.
Yeah, you've been watching a lot of Benny Hill?
No.
Oh.
Are you asking me what I've been watching?
No, I was going to ask you about the tweet of the week.
Oh, alright. This tweet of the week comes from Broken Penigma at Judas Deletion, who writes, Godzilla.
Whoa.
Who writes, Godzilla so noisy.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Okay, that's not about the show today, because obviously there's no Godzilla.
Yeah, there's no Godzilla in the show. Get that up front.
He's in the title.
Yeah, and yet he doesn't appear, so some might have a problem with that, I think.
We get to see a skeleton.
Some is me.
But yeah,
some.
in other media, not what we watched this week, Godzilla does go like, he's like, ah!
Yeah. I would imagine if it wasn't for all of the mass destruction and death, people would be really mad about the noise Godzilla makes.
If that's all he did, yeah, I'd be very furious with him.
Yeah, if he was just a giant lizard that, like, slowly and carefully stalked through Tokyo going, ah! Then people would probably be pretty pissed.
Well, he tried to do that in Shin Godzilla. He just was very bad at it, I think.
That's true. Well,
So
also...
like, he was like tiptoeing and knocking stuff over by mistake and be like, oh, sorry. Oh.
Also, at that point, he was like a little baby lizard who had blood pouring out of his fucking gills.
Yeah, I love that little guy.
Yeah. Weirdly adorable for such an ugly actual look at thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with this tweet. Tune in. This is Godzilla do be noisy.
Tune in.
Relatable.
Another reason to not live in Tokyo. Alright. Well, that's a tune-in, so congrats on that. Is this the shortest tweet of the week we've ever done? Why are we speedrunning this episode?
Next week it'll just be the drill no tweet, I think.
I'm really urgently needing to go back and play Minecraft, so we need to get this podcast over with.
Yeah, true.
I gotta fill up another double chest full of dirt this evening, or my boss is gonna be furious.
His manager over in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyo is just mining dirt for a party official's son.
It's a dangerous game, but someone's got to play it. Alright, well, with all that out of the way, I guess I have to ask, what you guys watch this week? Anything fun? Interesting?
I've been watching The Tick.
What version?
The Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Which was
wow.
I really would have had a lot to say if we had gone with our original pick for this week, Rutherford Falls, but we didn't. So I will just say it's kind of.
Then why were you bitching about it so much then?
I didn't feel it. Well, I wasn't going to talk that much about The Tick, but I was bitching about it because it's a terrible show, and it made me.
Well,
want to
yeah,
die.
but like we watch a lot of terrible shows.
Yeah, but that one had I couldn't handle the soy banter and the beta cuck male who just stood there while he was like being engaged in racist podcasting.
Oh yeah, that guy was not fun.
Yeah, but he's sort of like The Tick and Amazon's The Tick, but done badly. Like there's this line that you have to tread with a character like The Tick, or he's very disconnected from reality. Where if you don't tread it, you make him obnoxious. And Rutherford Falls did not tread that line.
Yeah, we were going to originally watch Rutherford Falls this week, but then we decided to watch this thing that Stairmaster's very into.
Yes, I didn't like the show, and Kyo hadn't seen the episodes yet because he was making a grilled cheese sandwich, if I recall correctly.
Look, not just one grilled cheese sandwich, but the grilled cheese sandwich.
It was, according to Kyo, the greatest grilled cheese sandwich ever conceived.
Conceived, but it hasn't been fully realized yet. I'm still working on the process.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of late nights in the kitchen, cooking up grilled cheeses. You can hear him late at night muttering, "That's a failure.
No, it's too melted.
Not enough cheese.
too crispy.
Needs more grill.
He has like one of those crystallography machines to examine
Yes.
the viscosity of the grilled cheese.
And I'm like looking at the grilled cheese sandwich with calipers for some reason.
Speaking of Rutherford Falls.
He has a big whiteboard in the kitchen where he has all of his notes on his studies.
Ideal bread. What could it be?
The only thing I'm going to say about Rutherford Falls, which I guess is our official, this is our official TV Tuners discussion of it.
Our official tune out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. I was disappointed with it for sure, but I feel like the lead actor, who I've seen in a lot of things. All right, it's time for story time with Swanson, real quick here. Once upon a time, when I was a teenage lad, I watched a program known as The Office because I thought Steve Carell was pretty funny, and he is really funny in that. At a certain point, Steve Carell left The Office, but the show continued. And the show decided that what they needed was a worse version of Steve Carell's character, and he was played by Ed Helms, the lead actor in Rutherford Falls. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to blame.
I see where this is going.
I'm not going to blame Ed Helms necessarily, but it has been a thing where every time I've watched him in something, I've been unable to get into it. I find him just not. He does not work. His personality does not work for me, at all.
Boy.
He's not at the level of like a Josh Gad where his sight makes me mad, but he is close.
Or Rob Schneider.
Well, yeah, Rob Schneider's just like reprehensible though. As far as I know, Josh Gad is not like a turd of a human.
So you were not pleased with this program?
No, I mean, I just wasn't. I was like, you know what? We'll see if it is any good. And it wasn't, turns out. I wasn't into it.
Yeah, so I watched half the first episode, and look. Let me tell you, my takeaway ever was the score was annoying.
Classic.
It had the music was like mid 2000s visual novel soundtrack tier.
Damn.
Wow. What's your? I don't know. There's some serious visual novel bangers out there from the mid 2000s.
Okay, there are, but I'm talking about from like randomly pooling from all of them.
Like the Tsukihime soundtrack.
That one's good?
No, that one's really bad.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is one of those sound like that, the music.
Okay, so that's a tune out on Rutherford Falls, but what about The Tick? Also a former episode of the podcast.
Yeah, that's a tune in.
Okay.
I feel like it's missing something, but I can't put it into words what it is.
It does star fellow podcaster Griffin Newman.
Yes. Not friend of the show.
Not friend of the show, but we would be willing to have him on.
I also watched Last of the Mohicans, but
okay.
I don't know what to say about that besides it's good.
Yeah. Who directed that? Is that Michael Mann?
Michael Mann. Facts.
Oh, damn. That's such an outlier for his normal filmography.
I guess, like, subject-wise, but visually, yeah, you can tell it's by him, because every frame is gorgeous.
Nice. Alright.
Alright, Swanson, you go next, because I've got a bombshell for what I watched this week.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I finished Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yes! It's the feeling, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Those final 4 episodes kick so much ass.
Yeah.
They're so good.
You ever just wave at somebody and then just
fire a rocket launcher that immediately decapitates them?
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. We're not saying who did it or who had it done.
But
it has to be
also
like
one of the most famous shots.
Literally
like the
shots,
genre.
yeah. I mean, like, it's so brutal. It's the perfect revenge.
Yeah, and then immediately that spaceship gets blown up. So it was entirely pointless.
Yeah. I guess you could argue that maybe if that person was still there, it wouldn't have been shot down, maybe. Who knows?
Are we talking about that person's sibling getting theirs?
It's also very brutal. It was great.
Yeah, in the movie it's changed from like a laser gun to a regular gun.
Oh, that's even more hardcore.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. Everything kicked ass. They really stepped up the animation in the last couple episodes. Like they were just like, I guess we're canceled, so fuck it.
Yeah, and then they reanimated a lot of stuff for the third movie. Like I think the duel between the Gundam and the Zeong is completely redone.
Oh,
more or less.
Yeah, that final fight is pretty cool as well. I love that it just devolves into them just sword fighting. It's good. Yeah, it was a good ending. Definitely, you can tell that they had to rush some stuff, but I probably worked out for the better considering what you were telling me last week. Because there's no way that Amuro fighting Giran would work in terms of like a mobile suit battle.
No, it's beautiful because, there's a wider world that these characters exist in. Sort of like how Luke isn't involved in directly blowing up the Death Star 2 and Return of the Jedi.
We'll do some mild spoilers here, so skip ahead like a minute. So I guess because the show was canceled and like they were like it wasn't popular at that moment. Mm-hmm. Is like Char supposed to just be dead at the end?
It's
like,
ambiguous.
Was he supposed to have,
when they
is he supposed to have blown up?
When they released the compilation movies, they added a shot after the credits of some Zeon ships flying into deep space, so it's supposed to imply he's still alive.
Hmm. Yeah. It was very cool. The decapitations kicks ass. The most brutal death in the show, obviously, but also just like so good. The new type stuff is like, yeah.
No, you go on.
The new type stuff kicks ass. From what I've heard so far, new type battles get even more ridiculous in Zeta Gundam, so I'm looking forward to that because the little that we got
by
here,
a pretty wide margin.
The little that we got here was already like very fun.
Can we have a moment of silence for Chilo Bowl?
What a poor guy! He just got thrown in the wolves.
He goes to Jupiter, spends months in a shitty ass space flight, and then immediately gets killed by Amuro upon returning to Zeon to fight for his home.
And like when he dies, Char's just like, what a shame. Oh well.
Yeah, he was just like, he's dead. Yeah. Anyways, what's Amuro up to over there?
If it makes you feel better, he also dies like a bitch in the novels. But I think he also inadvertently gets Hayato killed. And Amuro.
Oh, dang. Yeah, was Lala supposed to die as soon as she did in the if they had the full run?
I think so. She also dies in the novels. And then Char gets like a regular girlfriend that doesn't have any creepy subtext.
Yeah, it was creepy that he kissed a girl much younger than him, who he also called his sister at one point.
Yeah. But what, Char's like 21, and she's like 16?
Oh, I thought she was way younger.
I don't think it's that, yeah.
Anyway, it's a good show. Tune in.
It gets a lot creepier, like, once he's, decades after the fact, and he's still obsessing over it.
Well, she did die in front of him, saving him.
True.
And it was, like, his fault.
Yeah. It also is ostensibly one of, like, 3 people Char ever cared about.
Yeah. Because it is, like, he is kind of, like, filling a void for, like, that his family failed to occupy.
Yes. Yeah, good stuff all around. Keo, what's your big bombshell?
Okay, so in like a sleep-deprived haze, I've completed the Double Zeta Gundam program.
Holy fuck!
Dear God, this man is running through Gundams.
Yeah, Keo's technically seen more Universal Century shows than I have now.
He's running through mobile suits like he's Amuro and he's fighting the war.
Or like Char. And
I guess that's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, he runs through a lot of mobile suits, yeah. Also, I forgot one more little Gundam thing. I love that the Gundam just gets completely fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like it gets trashed at the end there. They're like, yeah, this show's over, so we don't need this. Yeah.
We don't need to sell any more of these.
All right, so I'll give my brief like summary thoughts of this 40. Is it 40 episodes?
I think it's
something like
50.
that. 50. Okay, 50 episode series. Yeah, it was an interesting one. It was kind of like it was an anime roller coaster where they're bringing us back in from Zeta, where Zeta was like the biggest sad boy experience you could have in an anime program.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Double Zeta's like, hey, let's have some fun. Let's bring in like a bunch of individuals who are like terrible people and
Like Mashmer.
yeah.
Who's
Well, all the protagonists are like a bunch of like
teens with attitude.
teens with attitude who do crime,
Oh, okay.
Well, they're poor.
but like
They don't have a
like
choice.
very mild crime and for the right reason, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's JoJo
they're
season
all-
4 or season 5?
A little bit, I guess.
They're not like an organized crime. They're just like ragamuffins.
Yes, exactly. They're like street urchins.
Yeah, and some of them are kind of like treacherous for a little while.
Oh, yeah, that was really annoying. That fucking...
Yeah, they were some like punk kids there, and Bright Noah's still there. Like
He's in hell. You can't escape
That
these
wild
teens.
man. The
his reaction was pretty much SMH, but they're new types, so I'll keep them around.
he doesn't
'cause they're
slap
good
any
at
of them
piloting.
around like he did Amuro.
No. That wasn't acceptable in the 80s anymore.
Yeah, it's a fun time, and then it gets like back to being Gundam after a while.
I'll be starting Zeta Gundam soon, so I'm sure by the time I'm finished with that, Keo will be at like Gundam Wing.
Kyo will be like watching Turn of Gundam.
Yeah. He'll be watching Gundam
I'll be-
Seed.
Oh, no, please
I'll
don't.
be directing my own Gundam series.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, I think Tomino's on the phone right now. Do you want to talk to him?
Well, yeah. Here, let me take that. Yeah. I thought Zeta was all right. Yeah,
Here's what
I
I would have done
definitely
to
could-
improve it.
I definitely could do something a little bit better than that. Oh, wow, how gracious of you, Tomino. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I come down to the studio.
How many figures?
Yeah, that budget, yeah, that's all right. Maybe double it. Yeah, I'll see you then. All right, later, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really good conversation for a man who I don't think speaks very much English.
And it's very self-loathing and abrasive to people who like Gundam.
So where would you rate
Yeah.
Double Z in the Pantheon so far, Keo?
I would definitely say it's a step down from both the original and Zeta, but I still enjoyed it enough to sit down and watch it. But it was really backlash
yes.
from watching Zeta.
I hate the tonal shift in the first third.
Yeah, I even gave it like a break so that I could like not jump right from Zeta to it, and it was still like, oh my god, this is insane.
Also, I'm actually kind of, when I first saw the Zeta Gundam, I didn't like his squid face, but I'm kind of a little disappointed they went back to the regular Gundam face for the Double Zeta. And I don't like the combining gimmick.
Yeah, every time they do the combining game, I'm like, why did they separate
Yes.
in the first
The
place?
Gundam should just be a guy
A guy
Yeah, to be a little man.
who maybe can turn into a plane.
No, Keo, the Gundam is a big man. There's actually nothing little about the Gundam usually.
Yes. Except for a Gundam F91 where they shrunk the mobile suits. And that's
All right, the Gundam is big, but it has little man energy.
interesting.
Oh, okay. Huh.
That would not come to my mind at all.
Yeah, I would suggest
Like,
most other mobile suits have little man energy since they are like...
Like fodder.
Yeah. Literally in the finale, Amuro on his way to chase down Char kicks one. He just kicks a Zaku suit away. Like it's a football.
I don't know. When I say little man, I kind of have like a friendly vibe.
Oh.
And the Gundam has like a friendly.
I don't know. He's kind of like
vibe.
menacing. He's like the samurai who's...
He's the mobile suit, or he's the mecha version of Kenshiro.
Sort of.
When you see him, you know that death is imminent.
Okay, but once you watch Double Zeta and you've seen them do slapstick comedy with the Gundam, then you
Yeah.
Was the Gundam getting this in like Three Stooges antics? Like it's hit
There's
with a
like
plank of wood?
there's multiple episodes where the cockpit is stuck open and they have to have fights with that handicap.
or they're just like chasing each other.
A guy from the junkyard just builds a mobile suit to impress Neo Zeon.
Yeah, they do a lot of fun stuff, but it's like, wow, this is a follow up to Zeta Gundam. Wow.
Oh yeah, that was intentional. Like,
I know it was. It still like was a lot to adjust to there.
They thought that the anime was getting too adult, and they needed something to inspire the youth.
Yeah, to become punk teenagers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with all of that out of the way, I guess it's time for us to get to the rabble.
Okay. What's the rabble?
The rabble is a segment here on the pod, Kyorain, where we talk about the show we watched this week, and give you critics, normally critics, this time just user reviews on the show, to give you a sort of glimpse of what other people think about the show before you get the TV Tuners consensus.
Mm-hmm.
We did anime this week, so it's going to be a little different because, for example, Rotten Tomatoes I guess they're racist and they don't talk about anime.
Correct. Rotten Tomatoes canceled. So there's a single IMDb review that Kyorain has found. And I went to myanimelist.net to find a review, and Stair has something, I think.
I think
Stair went to he went to the dark web or something.
I went to the user comments on the site I watched these episodes on, which I cannot legally say on the pod.
Yes.
Or I guess I can.
Don't.
Can I? Okay.
All right. Who wants to start us off?
Look, let's just do this nice and easy. I'm gonna just get it started with this IMDb review.
The only IMDb review.
Yeah, an anime viewer who stumbled his way onto IMDb because, you'll see.
I will pray for his soul.
It's an 8 out of 10, and it says, pretty good. Enjoyed it. By Capsule, with 2 Ps.
Ooh, okay.
I gave this cartoon a shot because I have been a big fan of Godzilla for a long time.
He's a big Godzilla.
No, I misread it. I was hesitant as I am not really a big fan of, quote, anime, but when watching this, I actually enjoyed it.
Cool.
I loved how they added Jet Jaguar from the old era. Looking forward to Godzilla's appearance.
Yeah, aren't we all?
How many people found it helpful?
Uh-oh. I don't think anyone did. I think I had nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody rated it because who's on this page?
Well, there were 81 people who rated the show itself, right? I saw that. So there were at least 81 people who looked at the page and was like, it's about a 7.
Interesting that this would be a 7. Actually, I guess it would be wildly divisive.
I feel like 7's not even wildly divisive. I think 7's like the median it's at IMDb.
No. That would mean that people are rating it high and low.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been a situation like that where people just rate it 7.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever given a 7 to anything in my life. I give it a 10 or 1. That's just how I roll.
Well, yeah, of course, because as we know, TV Tuners only rolls in binaries.
That's why people listen to us.
We don't do any type of numbering system ever. No. Not under any circumstance.
We make it real simple for you. Do you want to watch it or don't you? We're going to tell you. All right, I'll go next. This is on my anime list. Quite a selection of reviews, actually. But I chose this one from Hell Schwarz, who... there's no title for this, because I don't think any of them have titles, but he gave it a 7 out of 10 overall. Well, if you're a diehard fan of a franchise, there is almost nothing that can make you dislike the franchise anymore. Especially Godzilla fans. They're rather easy to please.
You just have to put Godzilla in.
Yeah. What do you mean the 9th Godzilla movie was bad? There are giant kaijus fighting right there. Most Godzilla fans, probably. I am not one of those fans. In my eyes, most of the Godzilla movies are rather mediocre, or bad, but this series is not. It's a refreshing take on the Godzilla story, with characters you care about, some comedic relief, and exciting plot, so far. There's also a low-key mecha anime, a genre that hasn't been done much lately, but seems to relate... but seems to relive a renaissance at the moment with 3 mecha anime airing this season. So it has been done much lately.
Yeah,
so
that
if you
sounds
like
a lot.
So if you like mechas, dinosaurs, sci-fi, or just action-packed plot anime set in modern times, give this a try. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with this. 7 out of 10. 3 people found this review helpful.
What's the 7 for? What do they take points off for?
I don't know.
No Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's right about the Godzilla fans. I've seen way too many people giving King of Monsters the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Fuck that
I'm not
film.
even a Godzilla fan. I've seen that. It's depressing. Anyway, you guys like action-packed plot anime?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
I don't know. That's what he described this as.
I would not. Interesting. Maybe he's seen more episodes than us.
Yeah,
I think it does say how many episodes he's seen.
Yeah, he's seen 4 of the. I guess there's 13 episodes of this.
Yes, that's usually the standard.
Okay,
But they haven't all aired yet. They just announced the number.
oh, all right.
That's what
Beforehand.
that's what the broadcasters, how they allocate programming slots in batches of 13.
So yeah, he's watched 4 of the 13 episodes. This review was from about a month ago, though. So
All right. My review comes from user James LeBlanc the Great, who writes,
Oh, okay.
oh, we're in the presence of greatness.
who writes trash anime #1 skipped. He got
What does that mean?
he got 5 downvotes and no upvotes.
Number 1 skipped. I've skipped a lot of things, but this is my number 1.
And I have a second review from MD Zakar Hassan Bouyan.
That was you call that a review?
That's why I have 2. Where is the episode, bro? 3 upvotes, no downvotes.
Where is it?
And I have a third review from MD Zakar Hassan Bouyan, who writes, "Where is it, bro? How many years will it take, bro? 3 upvotes, no downvotes."
This guy needs his Godzilla Singular Point fix.
This guy looks like his avatar looks like a stock photo of a glasses guy, or like a CGI render from like a PC game from like 2001 or 1999.
Like he's giving you the briefing?
Yes. Your mission is to attack the refinery.
You know what this makes me think of for some reason? What was that comic where the one guy falls down the stairs and the other one's
Sweet
guy
Bro, Hella Jeff and Dave.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is a Hella Jeff moment right here. Should have listened, bro. Should have released the episode.
Bro, where's the episode, bro?
How many years, bro?
I like they do this. We've been waiting years for this.
How many years until the next Godzilla Singular Point, bro?
And I think eventually in the comments he realizes that it's just not out yet.
Oh, I hope that guy wasn't waiting for the Evangelion movie. Like, imagine how much suffering he would have gone through.
I probably would have died.
Yeah.
If that were the case.
I wish I could consume that eagerly.
I wish I could feel happy.
Also, if he was waiting for the movie and then watched it, that would probably be a worse fate.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it for the rabble. I feel like we're really speeding through the segments this week. We're doing a pretty quick run here. I guess Kia's gonna have time to get all that dirt after all.
Yeah.
Alright, well, in that case, let's get to the news. There's news, and it must be discussed. I regret to inform you that Game of Thrones continues to be a thing.
What?
Yeah, not only is Game of Thrones continuing to be a thing, but the spin-off, one of the long-awaited spin-offs, is under production, and photos have been released from it.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, one of them contains a guy who used to be Doctor Who in a blonde wig.
Which Doctor Who?
Oh.
The 11th. Alright, so I'm going to post...
David Tennant?
That's Matt Smith. 11th is Matt Smith.
Oh.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yes.
That's right, yep. I'm going to post 2 photos, and Kyo's going to describe these this sort of situation, the mood of these photos, what's in them for us.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
All right, so we're out here. I guess that we're at the beach,
Oh my god.
but we're not in beachwear here. We're wearing like Game of Thrones clothes, and there's like there's 2 people. There's like a lady here on the left. Are these Targaryens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the really light hair, so they're Targaryens, and like the lady's like she seems like really like not having a good mood here. She's like giving them like the snake eyes.
This man, he looks like he's got like a Chairman Mao sort of dress.
Yeah, he's hanging out. He's wearing his Sunday best, and he looks really smug. And he's like looking at her like, yeah, we're at the beach.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing this thing.
I'm guessing this is like North England or something, judging by the beachography.
Yeah, probably something like that. This does look like what I would expect the equivalent of a Game of Thrones beach episode to be, which is that they're fully clothed, but they are at the beach.
And there would be multiple character deaths.
Yes.
Someone will be drowned dramatically.
Like on purpose, or just like sad, like a tragedy happened
Both.
when they drown.
It could easily be either one.
Well, they both happen to different characters. It makes you think there's going to be 1 drowning, but it's actually 2 drownings.
Yeah, like while the other person was drowning and they were reacting to that, the other person took advantage of the situation and drowned someone else.
Exactly.
Remember when this show used to be good?
All right, here's the second photo for Kieran.
Oh my... Wow, they are not trying at all with these locations.
Yeah, they're at the beach.
But it's from the opposite angle, so you see
They're actually, from what it looks like, they're at the water.
They might be at the beach. We can't see. There's rocks in the background.
Yeah. I think this is the hat. It's like maybe it's like at a cove, but it's still a beach.
Yeah,
it's not sandy, but there's beach rocks, and we just see 2 people in they're in Game of Thrones attire, and they're just kind of
they both look unhappy to be there.
this looks like a couple who made a bad vacation destination spot.
They look like one of 2. They look like one of 2 things. They look like there's somebody like approaching from nearby who they don't want to talk to, or
probably the Doctor Who guy from the first photo.
Oh my god! Yeah, me.
Or perhaps this guy on the right just like he like ate a lemon.
I feel like maybe the guy on the right made a move on the lady and it didn't play out, and now he just like has to deal with it.
Yeah, because they're so far out that like they do have to walk back together.
Yeah, but she didn't seem like she just rejected him. She seems to be on the same page as him. That's the thing.
No, it seems like that. It could be contempt.
I got the idea that he said something that she did not like, and now they're not speaking.
Yeah, I don't. If you look at her eyes,
they seem to be fixed on the same thing in the distance, possibly.
Yeah, like he just said to her right before this picture was taken, "I don't think this show's going to be very good."
This lady looks like the Mona Lisa if she was frowning.
This looks like the picture of the farmer and his wife.
You know what? Yeah.
There's really not much going on in these pictures.
Yeah, I'm not sure
nothing...
how this is supposed to elicit interest.
Don't ask me how it's supposed to elicit interest. I think they were just counting on everyone being excited that Matt Smith is in it.
Also, these actors should be standing 6 feet apart.
I don't think they do that when they actually do production.
Ooh, that's not good.
That would make it really awkward on the show.
Yeah.
The characters are acting like they're in quarantine.
You know what else is awkward? A permanent
COVID?
Respiratory disability. Yes.
I think they do regular testing on people who do jobs like this.
They do. It's
Good
like
for
a
them.
every time you go on set type of deal. So to give us more of a look into what the show's about, I guess, who's involved. This is going to be the version of the show that is 300 years in the past and focuses on the Targaryens. Matt Smith is going to be playing a character known as Prince Daemon, who is touted as a peerless warrior and dragon rider.
Okay, what else?
I guess the lady he's talking to is Rhaenyra Targaryen. She's the king's firstborn child, but her claim to the throne is challenged because of her gender.
Wow, what else?
I can't believe this.
This guy that in the second photo is apparently Otto Hightower.
Okay.
Which he's the hand to the king.
Oh, actually, that's why he's got that little pin on his... I forgot what that was called.
The pin.
Yeah, and this lady is actually Alicent, his daughter. So I guess he wasn't hitting on her. He was just being a dad,
Hopefully
and she's
not.
like embarrassed.
I mean,
Yes.
I would not put it past Game of Thrones to have him hit on his daughter, honestly.
True.
Let's be real here.
True.
Yeah, true. So far it seems very focused on the Targaryens and that stuff. Is there a lot of political intrigue in that, Stare, from what you remember?
There was I mean, the Targaryens kind of had a lot to go through setting up their kingdom, considering they're complete foreigners.
Yeah, but the king is already Targaryen.
Yeah, but they still have to, they're a different culture. They don't practice the same religion either.
True. All right. Well, maybe they'll pull something out here. Doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah. Anything else interesting in this show, Swanson? Because everything you described was like really sleepy time sounding.
It's called House of the Dragon. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, there's dragons? Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, there's dragons, and they don't show them because, of course, they haven't finished filming, so the effects aren't really done. It won't be for another year, probably.
Yeah, I guess this is going to remind people that this exists. I don't know anyone who's going to be excited based on these pictures, but they'll be reminded, oh yeah, there's more Game of Thrones here. Yeah, ooh.
My prediction right now, and I'm willing to be wrong because who knows, it could still just do huge numbers, is that the first episode is going to be like a huge, big deal, and then the rest are just going to be, it's just going to plummet.
Well, I don't have a prediction. Unless you want to put money on it, then I'll put a prediction.
I think people will just watch it because they want there to be one big show that everyone talks about again.
You gonna put money on that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How much?
$1.
Okay. I'm gonna put $1 and say that it's gonna do all right. It's not gonna like plummet like to nothing, but it's gonna be like not Game of Thrones level, but people are gonna be like, there's gonna be fans and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. I missed this show. I'm gonna watch it.
I think it's going to do all right, but it's not going to do Game of Thrones numbers, so in the second season it will get a pretty big budget cut.
Okay, that's... I don't disagree with that one, so I'm not going to put any money against anybody here.
Oddly enough, that's allegedly what happened to Westworld after its second season, so...
Man, Westworld makes me sad.
Yeah, I remember when we started watching that show and we were like, this could be fun, and then it wasn't. It turned out it was a mystery that everyone figured out by like the 5th episode.
I was ready to be into Westworld. I was like ready. I tuned into it thinking like, oh, I'm going to love this next episode. And then I was just like, wait a minute. I'm bored.
Wait, none of these people are characters. I get that they're supposed to be robots, but aren't they supposed to be people too?
Yeah.
No. The answer is no.
Turns out no. Even the people aren't people.
I'm going to put $1,000. This is going to be the highest grossing television show of all time.
All right.
This Game of Thrones prequel program.
I'll match
How do
your
they
bet.
determine that? The highest grossing?
Yeah,
the TV box office.
No, it's a home box office.
It's going to sell so much merch, Swanson, it's going to knock your socks off.
Dang, and put Game of Thrones branded socks on my feet.
They should have.
That you purchased yourself because you wanted them.
It's going to take my wallet out of my pocket and then buy Game of Thrones socks so that it can warm my cold feet after they've blown my socks off.
And you'll wear one of those little hand pins on your shirt too.
Yes. Oh, I would love that.
Bought.
I would like that. I'm going to make Stairmaster the hand of the podcast.
Wow, it's an honor. I hope Q doesn't poison me to gain my title.
I would never do something so treacherous.
Yeah. He would just stab you when you least expect it.
I had a thought, why don't they have, like, boobs and stuff in these promotional images? That'd be on brand for the show. I know to get people.
Like nude topless breasts?
Yes.
I don't think...
It'll get them excited for the wrong thing.
Yeah, I don't think they can show that as a promotional image. These usually go out to like publications and magazines.
Yeah, they have to put like little black bars over the nipples, which would upset people.
Yeah.
Maybe if they make a like Videodrome TV show. Like based on the movie, not based on the show in the movie.
Oh, that would... There's no way that would be good.
No,
they would miss the point entirely, like the Snowpiercer TV show where it's a police procedural.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that... We missed out on watching that. By missed out, I mean made the right decision. But that's what that is?
Yes.
Oh no. Alright, well, let's talk to something tangentially TV related, but fun nonetheless.
We will be watching the Parasite TV show, probably.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hate
Set in
ourselves
the poor
for that.
people universe.
Yeah. Has Q even watched Parasite?
What's Parasite?
It's a movie about society.
It's a South Korean
What
film
else?
about how capitalism sucks, actually.
What else?
It's very funny. But it's also bleak.
It's funny. It's very funny, and also in certain parts a tense thriller.
And
Interesting. Yeah, I heard people talking about that, but I never had any interest in
arguably
watching
the
it.
best film of 2019, depending on your fancies.
It's shocking that it's the best film, considering it's the same year that Uncut Gems came out, and it is better.
It's definitely better than The Irishman.
Oh yeah, that's the same year that The Irishman came out and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's probably better than all three of them. 2019 was a really good year for movies. Perhaps the last great.
Perhaps the last year for movies. We'll see.
Maybe. So let's talk about something that's tangentially related to TV. The Kentucky Derby. It surprisingly airs every year on television. You probably don't know, because who could care?
What's that? Like they got horses and they hit them with a stick or something?
The horses race. Yeah.
Battle horse.
It's wild that we decided that the sport for fancy people is horse racing.
Well, that makes perfect sense. Horses are expensive and unnecessary.
Is it really still for rich, fancy people? It seems like there's a lot of degenerate gamblers in the mafia nowadays.
I guess that's true. It's probably changed now. But also, the mafia are essentially fancy people. That's what The Sopranos taught me.
They have a lot of money from doing crime, I guess.
I think the boss is fancy and like everyone else is.
It's not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a recent controversy, one that I find very funny. The winner of the Kentucky Derby, Medina Spirit, recently failed a drug test. That's right.
That is haram.
They do drug test horses. So imagine a big cup of horse urine.
Imagine using human growth hormones on a horse.
Well, actually, the horse apparently had surprisingly high levels of THC in its system. That's right. This horse was getting lit.
Oh my God.
I want to know why they were giving the horse.
Well, actually, I got
THC.
Like one of the big names in the UFC. I think Anderson Silva, probably not Anderson Silva, got suspended from the league for taking THC to dull the pain.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people. There's at least 2 wrestlers who started out as MMA guys who are like now in the WWE who left because they got a bunch of like weed suspensions.
Yeah, it's very good for competitive fighting. I don't know about horse racing now.
Yeah. The horse police, which is what I'm calling the people who run the Kentucky Derby and I guess whatever league
the horse
it
police.
Is. They live inside of my horse.
Oh, okay. Going Hannibal. On this one.
It's apparently they're concerned that the owner of Medina Spirit might have also been attempting to distribute drugs via the horse, I guess.
I'm getting lost here on this one.
That would be a great way to get from point A to point B.
According to ESPN, the arbiter of all sports, Medina Spirit tested positive for an excessive amount of the steroid betamethasone after the Kentucky Derby, with the drug apparently being used to treat pain and inflammation in horses. That's right, horses are now jacked up on painkillers so they can win big races.
Oh, that's probably been since like the 30s, at least.
Yeah, usually it was the people on the painkillers. Now it's horses.
I mean, the little man on the back of the horse was in pain?
I'm sure they're in constant pain still.
Yeah, their life is agony. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission is investigating this and tends to uphold the results of any drug test that Medina Spirit will pass. If Medina Spirit loses a drug test or fails, I guess is the way to describe that, their win will be revoked, and the second place finisher will win the Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
This has happened apparently only once before in the history of the Kentucky Derby.
I'm shocked that those horses are doing marijuana, and also that you didn't bring up the whole cancel culture tweet.
I was about to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Medina Spirit's trainer, Bob Baffert, who's I guess in some sort of horse hall of fame, was suspended by the Kentucky Derby's venue, the Churchill Downs. And then released a statement in which he referred to the incident as the biggest gut punch in racing for something that I didn't do. Which sounds pretty innocent to me.
Who drugged the horse?
I mean, yeah, who was it? He also calls
it a beautiful creature.
Sort of. He also says it's an injustice to the horse. And that
do you think the horse cares about the prize?
I think the horse is sad.
I think the horse is happy because it's got drugs in its blood.
Yeah, probably true. And that, quote unquote, there's something not right in horse racing right now. He also says that Medina Spirit ran a gallant race, which is the only use of gallant I've heard in years. And that his team will be conducting their own investigation, so I'm sure that'll be very legitimate.
Well, I hear gallant all the time, but it's a noun. Usually in contrast to a figure known as Goofus.
And Baffert sure is a Goofus.
Are you in circles that continuously refer to Gallant and Goofus in conversation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm haunted.
When you think about it, Stare is sort of the Goofus to your Gallant, right? And then I guess I'm just...
Yeah, let's make the Gallant and Goofus podcast.
Where we review Goofus and Gallant things from... What is that even from? Like...
It's like a little comic to teach kids how to not be like trash goblins.
Yeah, it's like this is how you grow up to be humans.
What was that from? Like the publication, I mean.
Oh, I have no clue.
Yeah, it's like an old thing. Anyway,
but no, we wouldn't review it. We would just be Gallant and Goofus.
Well, we're already doing that right now.
It would be like the center of attraction to the podcast, and Swanson would be like the other person.
It already is.
Like,
I would be like the narrator being like, this is how Goofus does this.
You're basically describing TV tuners.
ESPN also says that this is actually the 5th time one of Baffert's horses has failed a drug test in just over a year. So, yeah. It seems like maybe he's getting a little... He's getting a little worried. He also did say that this was another result of cancel culture. So I guess we're canceling.
Did they drug test him, too?
I'm glad that the National Horse Association is so forgiving.
Yeah. What did you say, Kyo?
Did they drug test him, too, or just the horse?
Just the horse. He's not on any drugs. I'm pretty sure that he's just given the horse drugs.
I think he's on drugs.
Oh, I mean, I guess it's a possibility. He's a lot for the horse, a little for me.
I think he's just feeling the vibes of America. Trump has taught us that you should never apologize for anything.
Yeah, and that you should scream very loudly about how you're being persecuted.
And that's how you get reelected.
Yeah, reelected to horsing around. Anyway, yeah, it's good on the Kentucky Derby, you know, standing by their scruples, making sure that horses aren't being drugged. All right, let's get to a segment near and dear to everybody's hearts. How about some Trailer Blazers? Hit the theme, Kira.
I don't remember what the Rugrats theme sounded like. Oh, I wasn't talking about that one. I was talking about the one where like they do the episode title card. I was trying to do that one.
That's like a.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Anyway, yeah, we watched there's a new Rugrats show. It's CGI animated. It sucks. It's awful to look at.
Oh, that was quick, Swanson. Are we done?
It's no good.
Like, the original Rugrats worked because you had these grotesque character designs, but it was also very squiggly animation because of the classy Klusko style. But here it's like these clay sculptures
this is like,
that look inhuman.
Did you ever see a still from that Simpsons 3D episode? It's like that.
Which one? You mean the Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Where Homer gets stuck in the computer dimension?
Yeah, where they make them 3D. It's sort of like that because they're not designed to be in 3D. Some things just should be hand drawn.
Yeah, but we don't have money for that.
They are so like rigid, like their faces hardly move when they're emoting. It's like really creepy.
Yeah. All of the original voice actors are here though. At least for the kids. I think from what I can tell from the clips, Stu is definitely not voiced by the same person.
Mm-hmm. I feel like at least one of the original cast has died. Probably one of the adult voice actors. I can't remember who.
Yeah, I think the majority of the kids are the same. At least as far as I know. But yeah, there's like, it's just Rugrats. Like, you're looking at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's Rugrats. Although, there is something about it that I think strikes me the wrong way. Part of the appeal of like Rugrats, from what I remember, is that it's the babies taking like a mundane thing and making it very magical. But in the 3D landscape, the thing is just magical. It feels like I'm in the magical world instead of just like viewing things from their point of view, I guess.
Yes.
They're out doing stuff out in the world apparently, and pretty lame, pretty pointless.
But there was some real bullshit with like Stu's inventions, like that Reptar car.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's like later Rugrats though. After a certain point, after like the first movie, Rugrats just gets wild.
Yeah, like they get sucked into a Reptar movie at some point, I think.
Yeah, probably. At least we'll always have the Rugrats Hanukkah special.
Wasn't Hey Arnold also special, Jewish?
I think that's true, right? Hey Arnold was also Jewish, yeah.
Yeah, and also it was Passover, not Hanukkah.
Was it a Passover? They called it a Hanukkah special.
I'm pretty sure they talked about the temple and the shadows on the wall.
They did, but it was referred to specifically as a Hanukkah special. Probably because, they got to appeal to the Gentiles.
People would have been very confused and upset by some other holiday they'd never heard of.
Yeah. Well, they also did a Kwanzaa special, so, Rugrats was pretty woke. The original woke cartoon, Rugrats. Expect my think piece in 3 days. Anyway, this is, why don't we stop remaking things? I don't want any more.
I'm sorry, this is just capitalism. There's no future, so we just have these reimagined pasts to live in.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. People are coming out with new things. They're just simultaneously also rehashing old things.
Yeah, very true. We're getting into, in terms of remakes and reboots, we've it's already been there, but like it's really getting like deep into the Ouroboros here.
Please,
we're really just like we've gone from eating our tail to eating just like half of our body.
Yeah, previously we were scraping the bottom of the barrel. Now we're just eating.
Yeah, if we get a Chalk Zone remake, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Oh, it's coming, and it's gonna be 3D animated.
I would like a Chalk Zone remake way more than the Rugrats remake. At least that could benefit from being like animated fresh.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Time Squad remake.
Although obviously, if they did a remake in 3D CG, I don't know what that would look like.
Bad, probably.
Well, the options are 3D CGI, or they can use Adobe Flash.
They're gonna make a Jimmy Neutron remake, but it's actually gonna be hand drawn.
Fuck.
That would. I mean,
it's good.
I think it would benefit from that a fair bit.
They're gonna outsource this to Studio Madhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be hype.
What if they did like a serious reboot of Jimmy Neutron? Where he's just like solving like...
Oh, it's a CW show?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's just called Neutron.
Well, it would be... They can't call it Jimmy, can they?
No, I feel like that would be... They would think it was a late night talk show. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think I just pitched an actual show that's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. You can quote me on it.
Look, I just want Netflix Jimmy Neutron, and it's called James Neutron, and it's gritty.
Apollo has cursed us with the gift of prophecy. At least one of these things will come true.
It's like James Neutron. He's visiting like the grave of Sheen.
Yeah, Sheen would be dead.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't save you." And then, like at the end of the episode, he's like a grizzled detective genius boy, and like at the end of the episode,
does he still have the haircut?
Yes. He's sitting in his office and he hears a knock at the door.
He would have the haircut, but it's like not as big.
Yeah. He hears a knock at his door and he hears Jimmy, it's about your mom.
What?
And it's Carl, and that's a whole big twist there.
He's just glaring intensely.
Yeah. I feel like Carl would own like a bank or something. He'd be very well to do.
Yeah, Carl would be very well off. He would be like Carl would be the Foggy to Jimmy's Matt Murdock. Probably less annoying.
So you don't want to hang out with him too much.
Yeah, you don't.
No.
You as a viewer don't actually want to hang out with this guy, but Jimmy likes him. James Neutron likes him.
And there, of course, would be a hallway fight.
Oh, yeah. There'd be a hallway fight between, like... Who are even the bad guys on that show?
That wasn't a bad guy sort of show.
I mean, he fought people, though, didn't he?
He fought aliens in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever there was a bad guy, it was just something like Jimmy did himself, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's weird, is that, like... He didn't have any bad guys, but like there are definitely bad guys in Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh yeah.
He has a whole rogues gallery, despite it being just like a weird cartoon show.
Oh, maybe Dimmy's Dimsdale could show up, like a little cross-brand promotion.
Get Doug Dimmadome in there.
No, they can't.
I mean, they had that whole crossover thing already.
I know.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Just give Jimmy Neutron a Glock.
My ultimate invention, the perfect killing machine.
Yeah, there you go.
He realizes that shrinking people is stupid and blowing them up with a bullet is much better.
Yeah. Yep. And that's how he would refer to it, blowing them up with a bullet.
Yeah.
Because he's hardcore. Anyway, yeah, this new Rugrats looks like garbage and trash, and I don't want it. Thanks.
No, thank you.
No, thanks. Alright. With all that, we can waste no more time. It is time for us to get into our main event. We watched the show, and now we're going to talk about it. It's Godzilla Singular Point.
Dun, 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 dun.
Godzilla Singular Point takes place in the
distant future.
In the distant future of 2030 in the Chiba Prefecture. Engineer Yun Arikawa of the local do-it-all shop Otaki Factory investigates happenings in a Western-style house long thought abandoned. Meanwhile, Mei Kamino, a graduate student studying imaginary creatures, investigates mysterious signals received from a administrative building. These two strangers visiting completely different places both hear the same song and are led on a strange investigation that might involve the whole world. Did Godzilla Singular Point make you roar with approval, or did it put you to sleep like Mothra?
Oh.
You have to have a really high IQ to appreciate this one, folks.
Oh, yeah? Listen, I already mentioned it up front, and I'm going to just say it out here. We watched 2 episodes of this bad boy, and Zero-Zilla.
Oh, we get to see a skeleton.
That's not enough. You don't call this show Godzilla and then don't deliver the goods.
They gotta build up to him.
Like, why is this...
They need to have him show up in the first minute, and we're like, oh, what's that?
I don't even need him,
then,
he doesn't even need to show up in the first episode, really. You could tease, the bone was tease enough, but the second episode goes by, no Zilla.
Yeah, we need him right there, like at the very beginning of the first episode, just like on screen looking at us and saying, "Yeah, I'm on the way to the show."
The show's happening.
You're gonna have to wait a bit, though.
This doesn't help either, and I know it has nothing to do with the anime's production at all, but it is being aired on Netflix, and it is making me think that we're going to have to wait till the last episode to get our Godzilla.
I don't think Netflix has anything to do with the show production besides contributing some funding to it.
I think the only thing they did was license. Yeah, the only thing they did was license it.
What if they had, what if before they greenlit it, they had to they check some criteria and
the algorithm?
They're like, we'll license this product, but you have to make sure Godzilla doesn't show up to the last episode.
No, they had to put an application in, and they rejected anything that had the title character show up before episode 8.
You really need to hold off on that Godzilla.
Yeah. Jimmy would never get on Netflix.
James Neutron, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it shows James up front.
I think James Neutron would be like the HBO title.
James Neutron would get on Netflix. The thing is that you would have to wait until the end of the 13-episode season for him to go back to being Jimmy.
Oh.
No. You'd have to wait for him to show
He's
that he still has...
haunted by his past. I don't want to vent anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't show up any gadgets until episode 12.
Yeah, where he shows off a pretty lame gadget actually. But since you haven't seen any gadgets for 12 episodes, you're like, all right, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a boomerang that always comes back to his hand or something.
And someone Carl's like, that's not an invention, Jimmy, and he beats him up viciously.
Oh, that's a hallway fight.
Yeah.
No, I mean, a real boomerang, you have to throw it exactly right to get it to come back to your hand. This one, you don't.
He says he's been working on it for 10 years.
Oh my god.
So we watched 2 episodes of this show. The first one we watched was called A Distant Road Home. They really start this one
with
right off the bat.
anime bullshit.
Yeah, they're just really going at it in this one. It sort of feels like mumblecore. There's a lot of just
creepy
a lot of
children ominously mumbling.
A lot of ominous talking.
Some mathematical equations, maybe some gnostic imagery, I'm not sure.
Yeah, these two boys, these two lads don't even breathe for the first 5 minutes. They're just talking so much.
It's not just the kids at the beginning, but also the characters at the beginning. They're just doing freestyle on us in Japanese.
Yeah, they're doing a long form rap for us all. And it also has to do with cryptic messages that they're investigating. I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't super engaged with this show. I don't know about you two, but it was fine. The characters seemed fun, I guess.
Okay. I was definitely not on board until they showed up. Until Jet Jaguar showed up. Even then,
Jet Jaguar being
I don't like his
cool.
Proportions.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's uncanny for sure.
He's cool, but I don't like the way that guy
and torso.
Yeah, they need to fix that guy up. They did my boy Jet dirty. So yeah, one of my things here is that they're in this spooky house and they find a hidden room playing old spooky music. If I find a hidden room that's playing old spooky music in an abandoned house, I'm leaving. I don't need to investigate anymore.
That's why Swanson, that's why you're not an anime protagonist.
That's why you don't have a job.
Both fair points. Equally valid. A lot of this opening feels like I walked in on a play after intermission. I'm just in the second act, and I'm just confused.
You're not wrong. It does feel like that.
These characters know a lot more than you do, Swanson. And they want you to know that.
Yeah, I'm glad they're just taunting me with their knowledge and refusing to share. So we also get introduced to May, who is she's a cute little like nerdy anime girl, I guess.
Oh, you think she's cute?
Yeah, she's
objectively cute. Stairmaster. She wears her glasses like not even like on her eyes.
Yeah.
And she goes to college. The perfect woman.
That's right.
Not just college, but graduate school.
Yeah,
Yes.
very smart. She also hears this mysterious song after she's in... what's she doing exactly?
She's
she gets like a
invited to
job?
the radio observatory because they got a signal, and that's triggering an alarm that they have no idea.
And her professor was too busy, so she was good enough.
Yeah, I guess. And she's like, well, I guess I can figure this out. And they're like, all right, well, why doesn't it wait till in the morning? She has a conversation with Yun. That's the main guy, right? The gray-haired man? Or boy?
Yes.
He's a boy.
He's a twink.
Yeah. Who's this bodybuilder guy? What's his name?
I forgot. I think it's
Dumbbell.
I think it's
Yeah,
Juno or something.
that's what she calls him when she sees him. She calls him Dumbbell because he, I guess, lifts a lot. We do see him working out at one point. Like he has an interaction with these like people who work for this company, and he's like just lifting. He's just like doing pull ups
To intimidate them.
Yeah, it
To
probably
assert
worked.
his dominance.
Yeah, it's what you call a power move in the business.
Yeah, he seems too oblivious for power moves, but maybe I'm wrong.
They're instinctual.
He's like Knuckles. He's very heartfelt and sincere.
Yeah, he would rather flex his muscles.
Also, there is a little guy who lives inside the computer.
Yeah, there's a little AI.
Isn't
guy.
his name also Yun?
I think it was Pero too.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Yun's might be Yun. But the one that I'm focused on is the one that May is given, which is Pero too.
More like forced upon.
Yeah, because she could care less about this truly amazing AI.
He's not as cool as Haro.
Well, yeah, because Haro can like interact with the surroundings.
Haro's like a little ball that's also a rabbit, man.
Yeah,
that can fly.
But Haro can say like very short sentences to you and hops around. But the best thing about Haro is that he very cheerfully says your name.
And once in a while, he will knock you out of the way of bullets.
Very true.
Yeah, or he'll warn you not to do something, which you'll do anyway.
Or he'll co-pilot your Gundam.
Similarly to Pero 2, most people are sort of completely uncaring about Haro. Including usually the protagonist of a Gundam series.
Well, that's thematically the point of Haro. It's to show how they've grown cold to the childlike wonders that surround them.
But Amuro already was not paying attention to Haro at the beginning of the show.
True. Haro was there, and Haro was like, Amuro! And he's like, shut up, Haro. I don't listen to you. I'm sad boy.
You always take Fraw's side.
Well, it is true.
Yeah, this AI, though, I don't know. I would have been annoyed with it. It's pretty invasive, right?
Yeah, it
takes up like all of our hard drive space.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It doesn't even like calmly say that it's deleting files to make room for itself.
Yeah, it's just making some room, and also it's like scanning through all of her personal information to make sure she's not a threat to anybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Who designed this? Fucking Mark Zuckerberg? Why is it going through your personal information?
To make sure you're not a threat.
And she seems very nonplussed by the fact that it's invading her personal privacy.
Yeah, she seems to be like in a dreamlike state or something.
Yeah, did she like get fed like a drug? Which is she on what that Kentucky Derby horse is on?
I think everyone in the show, at least this first episode, are on some sort of downer.
Well, not the guy who pilots Jet Jaguar. He seems like he's seen the world and knows.
But this
what
first
it
episode
entails.
feels very Prozac out.
Yeah.
Or you could...
Yeah, I would have been just really invested in this AI. Like, what?
How is this possible? What world do I live in now?
What's going on? This is insane.
I think it's cool my boss has built a robot.
But no, she could care less about this robot. So yeah, there's this weird old guy who is like the boss of Yun and Dumbbell. And he has his own robot. It's Jet Jaguar.
He claims it will defend the planet. All he needs is an antenna to communicate with outer space.
And everyone else is like, yeah, whatever, weirdo.
They're like, who care?
Yeah. They take it to a fair, and some little kids mock Yun by calling it cringe. Which is...
Yes, I looked it up. They're saying lame in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
In case you were curious.
I just love that it was translated to cringe.
I'm sure there's some guy out there very angry about this.
And then a kaiju does finally show up. It is Rodan, right?
Yes.
Rodan.
I think they go with the Japanese pronunciation.
So I'm curious about this translation thing. So when they say lame, they're saying the same exact phrase that they would have said like 20 years ago, but they translated it as cringe today.
Yes. They said the word lame.
That's interesting.
The Japanese word for lame.
So is that itself cringe?
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Like they said lame as in like physically disabled.
As in uncool, I think.
Yeah, but the same word that they would have said 20 years ago.
Interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look.
That's the thing about translating, is if it's recent slang, then saying it as cringe would be accurate. But if it's old slang, then doing it as cringe would be inaccurate, I think, right?
Either way, people are going to give you death threats on Twitter for suggesting and you should have...
If they suspect that you changed the meaning of it at all from the original wording, then they're going to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad.
Yeah, so this is...
Yeah, I'm hopping mad.
This is Rodan, this pterodactyl, but since this is Japanese only, they call him Radon.
Yeah, and Radon Chong is here. He's real mad. And he's going to attack these humans. But we don't get that in this
is
first
like
episode.
The least lethal kaiju I've ever seen, I think.
Well, he's not
He
very
kills
big.
0 people.
He's not very big, but he's also not very aggressive either.
No, and he does get beaten up by a very dingy robot. Yeah, so the second episode... first off, the first episode ends with some of the who's this guy? Like the lead...
the bald guy.
Yeah, is he like the owner of the company or whatever?
He's like the manager or the director of the observatory, I guess.
Yeah, and he's taking the lead, like...
The accountant man.
Yeah, the lead accountant down. He's like, hey, I'm going to show you something special. Here's Godzilla's bones.
This was a secret army base from the Imperial period.
Look at this. The bones of a Godzilla. Wonder what that'll do. Oh,
and
well.
You can't tell how big it is because there's like some fish islands.
Yeah,
It's probably big, right?
I hope this Godzilla's big.
What if there's a Godzilla that was just a small lad?
Oh, you mean like Godzilla
he's
Jr.?
Like,
No, smaller.
you're talking like 5'3"?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We're talking like a human-sized Godzilla. Would you be
I don't
worried?
think anyone would be happy with that.
I'd give that version of Godzilla a movie. I'd give him a singular movie to see what he does.
Okay. How would you feel if there was a scene where he gets bullied by street cops?
That seems like something that would happen to Godzilla Jr.
So wait, it's Godzilla, but it's also Short Circuit 2. He's just getting bullied by a street gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be on board as long as there's no white person playing an Indian person.
Okay, that's pretty low standards, I guess.
Yeah, and yet Short Circuit 1 and 2 both failed.
Also, a white person cannot play Godzilla.
That's true. Yeah, illegal. Go right to jail.
Like his voice?
No, I mean the suit.
Yeah.
It would be a suit, yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh, dear.
So the second episode is titled Midsummer Oni Festival.
There's a festival.
It's true. They live up to the name. There is still no Godzilla, but I'll be honest. We open up with a kaiju battle here. Jet Jaguar gets in action. It's fun. After that, I was not really paying the most attention to this show. I was kind of checked out at that point.
Yeah, what were you doing, Swanson?
I was just not paying attention to that show. I was, scrolling
what were you paying
around on the
attention to?
internet.
What are you doing?
Looking
looking
around.
Pornography.
It was not that.
You're searching images of the lead female from the show.
Well, Keo, to do that, I would have had to look at porn. I would have to turn off the audio of the recording I was listening to. So that wouldn't have worked at all, would it?
I don't know. I can leave stuff
It
on the
would've
background. Sometimes.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. What have I become?
Is that how you watch Last of the Mohicans?
No. No.
Okay, just one. Hey, I'm
Uh-oh.
just asking questions
What?
the audience wants to know. All right,
No, I've been using my tablet for that. Just laying in bed with the lights off.
Oh no.
Soaking in the cinema.
Yeah, soaking in something. So yeah, the kaiju battle happens. Rodon is beaten up by Jet Jaguar, flees and then dies. Is that what happens?
Yes.
Yeah, he just dies.
Yeah, and they're not sure why. They're like, "Whoa, that's wild." There's a lot of news reports about this creature's dead. A giant pterodactyl man is here. News at 11.
Why didn't they just call the cops on this thing?
Is it time to open up each other's heads and feast on the goo? That type of thing.
Unfortunately, not that last one.
No. Yeah, I guess because it's Japanese media. If it were American media, there would be 24-hour coverage of the attack from multiple angles. There'd be a lot of people talking about when we can expect a second Rodon attack.
New restrictions.
Why the president is doing nothing to defend against the Rodon attack. Who sent Rodon after us?
Mm-hmm.
With a list of people who it could have been by likelihood.
10 airstrikes in response to the Rodon attack.
Yeah, just airstrikes on random places that sound like where Rodon could have been from.
Yeah, now you're just describing Shin Godzilla.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go watch that instead, actually.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, so after that, I think there's a lot of, mystery unraveling going on. I'm not
yeah,
quite
they seem
sure.
to be going for this biblical Armageddon thing with Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, a cool anime girl with, a punk aesthetic shows up. I saw her for a few seconds, and I was like, huh.
And you're like, gotta go look at pornography now.
No. I did not.
Swanson was inspired by this anime character.
Anyway, so yeah, they uncover anything fun in this? I don't even remember.
Swanson went to go research whether or not the accessory she was wearing was possible.
Yeah, I did. I looked to see if it was possible. I didn't even think if it should have happened.
He typed into Google, "Can you do this?" all caps question mark.
And Google said yes, but it never said if it's recommended. Anyway,
Imagine getting to describe it. She has got a earring plus mouth ring. Was that what it was?
yeah,
Yeah.
So imagine getting that snagged on something. That would be really bad.
that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Godzilla coming by and just ripping that out.
Oh no, that would kill you.
Yeah, probably.
Why Godzilla do this?
I don't know. Why does Godzilla do anything?
He's angry
Oh yeah, true.
and noisy.
Yeah, but usually he's not violent to women directly, except for Mothra.
I was gonna say he
And
did fight
Violante.
Mothra, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I rest my case. Godzilla canceled.
Would you consider Mothra to be a woman?
Yes.
Yes, they do consider Mothra to be a woman.
Like, what's the criteria there?
Doesn't Mothra lay eggs?
Yeah, and they call her a mother constantly.
Okay, but like, do you call like a female dog a woman?
Sure.
Oh, no, but most dogs aren't as smart as Mothra.
Yeah.
Oh, Mothra is intelligent, like thinking about stuff.
She has 2 telepathic twins with which she uses to communicate.
Yeah.
I thought Mothra was just a big mom.
Usually they have to negotiate with her to get her to help out humanity because they're so awful to the environment.
She's like, no.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no
outside of like most of the monsters Godzilla fights in later movies, I think most of them are pretty intelligent. Isn't King Ghidorah also super intelligent?
Yes.
Yeah, and Godzilla
what is
has
Godzilla's intelligence level?
What's Godzilla's intelligence level? That's a great question.
It varies.
Yeah, it depends on the movie because in the first one he's just a rampaging monster.
He's
but
like
as they
literally
evolve,
like a stand-in for a nuclear bomb victim. Basically a blind, burnt man stumbling around.
and like in the later movies, he's like capable enough to understand like when an enemy is about to sneak attack him.
Yeah.
Like
interesting.
He's capable enough to in like
and Godzilla versus
cheesier films. And Godzilla versus
he sets
like
up wrestling moves for
allies.
allies.
Him and Jet Jaguar tag team Megalon in one of those movies.
I think one of them Godzilla has a conversation with Angusaur, famously.
Yeah. Godzilla also did defeat a smog monster at one point, I think, so...
Yeah.
He has to be pretty smart to do that, I think.
Well, it depends on how you do it.
I don't know how he did it, I didn't watch that one. Probably killed it with, like, laser blast or something.
You probably don't need to be smart to do that, Swanson.
Yeah,
let's be real here.
Godzilla did beat King Kong if you watch the Japanese version of the original movie.
No, that's a myth. Wrong.
R.I.P.D. Anyway.
Swanson was spreading dangerous misinformation on the podcast.
Yeah, well. The episode does end with some fishers seeing a bunch of Rodons in a blood red sea.
Unfortunately, they don't seem to be killing anybody, which is good.
Yeah.
Or, unfortunately, I think it would have been cool if these guys got murked.
I mean, yeah, it would have been a lot more stakes involved in this if they were killing people, right?
Yeah, they'd probably like make the government get involved if there are people getting murdered instead of just them being like, "Oh, that's weird." Anyway, back to Minecraft. So yeah, that's a very abbreviated sort of rundown of what happened in Godzilla Singular Point.
We didn't talk about the part where, first of all, this AI knows everything. It knows how to cook, knows how to do research papers. It's a god tier AI.
It's true, yeah. It essentially does your life for you.
Wow.
So that you can focus on things like finding out what Godzilla means.
They don't do this. They don't talk about Godzilla.
So, well, yeah, they do name drop.
The mural.
Yeah, they name drop Gojira. So
they don't seem to understand the significance.
Yeah.
That he's a big
I think
dude
it's just
that's
like,
gonna wreck their shit.
I think it's just like a whale.
Yeah, he's sort of like a Moby Dick figure.
In the water.
Yeah.
Not on land attacking people.
Well, obviously, a creature of that size could not walk on land. His body would collapse upon itself.
Yeah, come on, Kyo.
Obviously. Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's true.
So, what do we think finally here about Godzilla Singular Point?
This is more of a cerebral anime.
Yeah.
Instead of dumb garbage for babies like Gundam that we love.
Yeah, I think you need a very high IQ to appreciate this program, such as like an IQ such as my own.
Oh, yeah, you really you had a real high IQ, so you enjoyed it. A lot of stuff going on.
What the mystery is.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was okay too.
I guess I thought it was mostly fine. It's just I don't
Swanson,
know.
You stopped watching it.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna give it a tune out.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this. I'll be honest. I was trying to be nice to Stairmaster, but he already gave the show that he liked a tune out. So Wanted to watch, I mean.
He never said he liked it. He just said he was interested in watching it.
Yeah, and would really hate Rutherford Falls.
I mean, to be fair, this is better than Rutherford Falls.
Yes.
By a pretty wide margin. This was not offensive to me. It was just kind of like, oh, I don't really care too much about what's going on the screen here. Although I really like the AI. We didn't talk about the animation at all of this animated program.
It's nice,
the animation.
It's nice.
Go ahead.
There's no real big set pieces to show off the hand-drawn stuff. Like the
nothing.
kaiju fight CGI, which is okay, I guess. It's not the worst I've seen.
It was still distracting, as it's hard not to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't... I mean, it was nice animation. I just wasn't impressed by any of it. So that's probably why I didn't bring it up.
The best animation, though, was of the little AI thing. It was really vibrant and also constantly changing shape.
Yeah.
You love to see
into more and more eldritch beings.
Maybe it'll be a kaiju.
Oh, that's what Godzilla has to fight, is Pero too.
Yeah, the cyber demon.
Like I forgot, but first it was like just like a doggy, and then it was like a very Japanese dog, like a Shiba.
Yeah.
And then it was like a dog caterpillar or something.
I think it's going to just turn into a dog. A real dog.
Start biting people?
I'd be like, no, it's just a friend.
Yeah, it's just going to be like a friendly, real-life dog that's no longer in the computer.
And knows all your personal information.
It's a friendly dog that knows your personal information and can do like web searches for you.
It can do, I thought you were going to say surgery.
Well, it might also be able to do surgery. Who knows?
It can definitely direct surgery.
Yeah, it knows that much at least.
I need this in my kitchen. I need this AI in my kitchen. It's going to help me make my grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh yeah, this could be the assistant you finally need, since you said that Stare and I would be terrible assistants for you.
Yes.
Well, you were terrible assistants for me.
Were.
Yeah.
I need that purple-haired lady to DM me.
This guy's priorities right. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to tune out on Godzilla Singular Point. No Godzilla.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna. We already tuned out, but I'm gonna get the dissenting tune in because I could see this improving. Like, you know.
Well, usually it's a 3-episode rule, not the 2-episode rule.
Yeah, we were breaking the anime rules here, but I didn't dislike it enough to say like, oh, don't watch this. But I didn't like it enough to say you must watch this. So I'm not gonna say like you guys are wrong, but I'm gonna do the dissenting tune out here, or tune in rather.
All right. Well, this is a tune out on Godzilla Singular Point. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. We're getting back into the swing of things in terms of bonus episodes after a couple busy weeks. We're going back to the Gilmore, the Gilmarier, our Gilmore Girls podcast, where we're looking at the first couple episodes of Gilmore Girls. The second episode of that should be coming out hopefully sometime in the next week or so. Look forward to that, and as always, of course, if you have a bonus episode that you want to suggest to us, well, you can do that by going over to buymeacoffee/TVTuners, buying us a coffee, and suggesting anything that your heart desires. A single coffee gives you a single thing for us to talk about. It's great.
Yes.
Do it.
I love money.
I need coffee. I'm very tired.
Same.
And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. Until next week, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Fun fact, did you know in Gundam 00 Season 2, there's a character named Mr. Bushido?